So I was around 12 years old when I started having this creepy nightmare for a month and a half straight. That's right, it happened every single night consecutively. Basically, the dream went like this. I would falsely awaken in my bed, meaning I thought I had woken up in real life, but I'm still actually in the dream. My small bedroom would look exactly the same as it did in real life. Same crescent moon nightlight casting a soft yellow glow from the foot of my bed. Same bedroom door still securely locked. Same desk chair still creepily casting shadows from the adjacent corner of my room. Nothing out of the ordinary. The only way I could tell I had falsely awoken was when I looked at my digital Lego brick clock on my desk. The numbers would be slightly different. Sometimes they would be upside down, jumbled, or discolored. Anyways, I was used to lucid dreaming. I actually found it fun. But I had felt this dream was not going to be fun for some reason. My gut kept telling me to wake myself up, but I ignored it, thinking that maybe if I stuck around something interesting might happen. I wish I hadn't stuck around. I usually dreamt in settings outside of my bedroom, but whenever they did take place in my bedroom, they never occurred at night, which was why I guess I was curious. So I walked around in my dream bedroom, wondering why it was so special since it looked exactly the same as my in-real-life one. I didn't find anything interesting and climbed back into my bed. Just as I was about to go back to quote-unquote sleep, I felt that tingly feeling you get when you know someone's staring at you. I tugged my blankets over my head, squeezing my eyes shut, as if that would make whatever was watching me go away. But it didn't. Aside from the tingly feeling, I felt a tangible presence coming from my desk from the corner of my room. The wheels on my desk chair squeaked and I lost it. I woke myself up in real life. I remember thinking it was weird because it was still dark in my room, and when I woke up, it was really disorienting. I checked out the time and it was around 3 a.m. I was too freaked out to go back to sleep, but I ended up drifting off anyway around 4 a.m. I dismissed the first night's dream because it was just a dream, right? Second night, I was falsely awoken in my bedroom again. It's still nighttime, but this time I don't get out of bed to check my room. I just pull the covers over my head and clench my eyes shut. I was too afraid to see what I might have seen. I felt the presence again, but this time at my dresser. I heard my necklaces being jingled around and my jewelry box shut. I didn't dare peek at whatever was moving them, though. I woke up around 3 a.m. again, same as the previous night. I'm freaked out but tired, so I drift off again around 4 a.m. The third night was the same as the other two dreams. I falsely awaken in my bed at night. I close my eyes and hide under the blankets. Some small noise is made by whatever is messing with the objects in my room, and I wake up in real life around 3 a.m. I have this dream nightly for about 3 weeks when something changes. This time, I feel a noticeable amount of weight sink into my mattress at the foot of my bed, which is impossible given the fact that my foot of the bed is flush against two walls and the only way through is where I'm laying because there's a ladder. It's a bunk bed, and it's obstructing any way of getting to the foot of my bed normally. I panic and draw myself into the fetal position as far away from the foot of the bed as possible, which was difficult because it was a small twin bunk. I force myself to wake up, and of course it's at 3 a.m., and I feel the slightest brush against my cheek. I am freaking the fuck out at this point. I've always believed in spiritual shit since when I was young. But keep in mind, at this point, I'm only 12 years old. Young minds have dangerous imaginations. I go to my parents' bedroom and sleep sandwiched between them because I'm too afraid at this point. I drift off around 5 a.m. due to the adrenaline of pure fear keeping me awake. For about a week, my dreams would go back to resembling the first dream again. Nothing brushing my cheek or sitting at the foot of my bed. Still noises, but I settle for that because it's better than suspecting something had followed you out of the dream world into the real world. I became afraid of sleeping, so I did everything I could to keep myself awake until about normally 5 a.m. Basically, I end up getting a few hours of sleep every night. I start looking like shit at school and things start to become wavy because of how sleep deprived I am. Whenever I find myself in the same dream, I just close my eyes and hold my breath and wait for myself to wake up naturally because of how tired I'd become. One night, the dream changed again. There were no noises being made by whatever was moving my shit around. I was really sick of being terrorized by this bitch I hadn't even seen before, so I decided to take a peek. I regretted it instantaneously. At first glance, my room looked normal, but then I noticed an extremely dark shadow of sorts in the upper corner of my ceiling. It wasn't transparent the way normal shadows are, but it was substantial. It was also pulsating every few minutes, like, what the fuck? I forced myself to wake up. In real life, I'm scared shitless at whatever I just saw. Shadows aren't supposed to look juicy, or pulsating, or hanging from the corner of your ceiling. From this point on, my bedroom was silent and still. I didn't dare peek anymore after that, but I could feel its presence every time, and it kept creeping closer and closer. For some reason, it kept moving in various positions so I know it was there, like sitting at the foot of my bed and rearranging my hair, and occasionally blow air beside my head through the blankets. When I woke up in real life, I felt a brush on my hand once. In the last week of having this recurring dream, it changed another time. This time, when I false awakened, my blankets were gone. Just gone. All I had was the pillow under my head. I squinted into the corner of the ceiling that I had last seen the pulsating massive shadow, but it was nowhere to be found. I thought maybe it had left for good and just taken my blankets as a final scare act, right? So I turned over, and just as I was about to squeeze my eyes shut, a fucking hand comes out of the wall, reaches out, and slowly caresses my hair. I wake up in real life and I'm terrified. I told my mom about the dreams and what happened because I didn't care anymore, but she thought I was being silly and told me to suck it up. I was 12 after all. I was quote-unquote old enough to stop acting for attention. I'm freaked out, but nothing happens the rest of the week. I finally stopped having those dreams and started lucid dreaming normally again for several weeks. Except one night, I wake up in real life and see a tall shadow figure looming over me. It isn't transparent like a shadow. No, light passes through the figure, the way that a whole person occupies a space made up of its matter. Its face is just pure of nothingness, blank but darker than the rest of itself. Something in its chest is pulsating like I saw in the corner of my ceiling all those nights ago, but it's much smaller and more concentrated. And I don't know why, but I could feel it literally smiling at me, despite its lack of facial features. I scream and my mom rushes in. When she turns the ceiling light on, there's nothing there. After that uncomfortably up-close and personal encounter with the shadow thing, I never false awakened in the same setting of my bedroom again. At least, not in the way I did for that almost 2-month period. I still think about it though, and wonder why it didn't kill me, or do anything much more sinister than caress my hair.